You won't believe what's happened in the last few hours. The atmosphere is hot ahead of the Dallas Cowboys game, and I'm going to tell you all the details. But before you continue, click on the subscribe button so you don't miss the latest Cowboys news. Dak Prescott of the Cowboys will be without his two starting guards and the captains. As the Cowboys look to win the NFC East in Week 18, Dak Prescott will be playing behind a depleted offensive line. The Dallas Cowboys will win the NFC East if they can beat the Washington Commanders in Week 18. However, without their two starting guards, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys could be in trouble. Dallas has ruled out Zach Martin and Tyler Smith via Ari Merev of the 33rd team. Martin is dealing with an illness while Smith is battling a foot injury. The offensive line has not been one of the Cowboys' strengths in 2023. Heading into Week 18, Prescott has been sacked 39 times this season. While Dallas is in the middle of the pack in terms of total sacks allowed, Prescott is tied with Chicago Bears QB Justin Fields for the fifth most sacks this season. Losing Martin and Smith will be a big blow for the Cowboys. They earned solid grades from Pro Football Focus of 69.8 and 72.9, respectively. Plus, they're Prescott's trusted protectors who know how to block Dallas' scheme. The Cowboys' saving grace is the fact that they've already secured their playoff spot at 11-5. Beating the Commanders in Week 18 only means that the Cowboys would be NFC East champions and would secure second place for the playoffs. That's certainly nothing, and it's a prize that Dallas wants to achieve. However, Dak Prescott and company will have to learn to play quickly with a depleted offensive line. When the Cowboys faced the Commanders at the start of the season, Dallas came out with a 45-10 lead. With the NFC East on the line, with or without guards, the Cowboys are hoping for a similar result. The famous NFC East streak will continue if the Dallas Cowboys win the division title. There's no division in the National Football League, NFL, like the National Football Conference, NFC East. Since the Philadelphia Eagles won the division for 4 consecutive years, from 2001 to 2004, no team has won the East in consecutive seasons. The Eagles, Dallas Cowboys, New York Giants and Washington Commanders, under various names, have secured several division crowns in that period, but never twice in a row. The current streak of 18 seasons without a repeat champion in the NFC East is the longest for any division in NFL history, according to ESPN, and the longest active streak of its kind for any division in the NFL, National Basketball Association, NBA, National Hockey Association, League, NHL, and Major League Baseball, MLB. The Cowboys can maintain one of the sport's craziest streaks on Sunday, the final day of the NFL's regular season calendar. Dallas has already clinched a playoff spot, but a win over the Washington Commanders on Sunday would guarantee the NFC East title and a home playoff game for America's team. That's the most direct route to a division championship, at least. The Cowboys win the NFC East with a win over the Commanders, a draw plus an Eagles draw to the New York Giants, or just an Eagles loss. Dallas, 11-5, would certainly like to keep their fate in their own hands by beating Washington, improving to 12-5 for the third year in a row and winning the East for the second time in the last 3 seasons. If that's the case, it won't matter how Philly, 11-5, finishes. We have an opportunity to win the division and go out there and make a statement win and get ready for the playoffs, Pro Bowl pass rusher Micah Parsons told reporters. We have to make a statement that we are the better team, the more dominant and aggressive team. Added Pro Bowl guard Zach Martin, the playoffs start for us this week. It's a must-win for us. The Cowboys and Eagles have already secured playoff appearances. The teams split their 2 regular season meetings, although Dallas holds a tiebreaker thanks to a better conference record, 9-3 versus 8-4, than its division rival. If the Cowboys beat the Commanders, they would also secure the second NFC playoff spot, in part because of a controversial win over the Detroit Lions to go along with the East title. And the Cowboys, who finished 8-0 at home in the regular season, will play as many games as they can at AT&T Stadium. The Commanders, 4-12 and losers of 7 straight, host the Cowboys at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Philadelphia could still win the East if one of these 2 scenarios occurs. 1. The Eagles win and the Cowboys lose or tie, or 2. The Eagles tie and the Cowboys lose. "We want to play our best football before the playoffs," Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert said earlier this week. "We haven't done that, and that's why Sunday means a lot. We know they'll have some adjustments against us, but it's good to know them and what they can do to try to stop us. I'm taking a positive approach to this." The Eagles once controlled the NFC at 10-1, but 4 losses in their last 5 games have relegated them to the wild card position. If Philly doesn't make the cut for Week 18, that's where the team will remain. Without a division title, the Eagles will go into the postseason as the top wild card team and will face the NFC South champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers next weekend. The 5-11 Giants host the Eagles at 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Controversial ex-Cowboy starter finds team before potential Dallas game. The Dallas Cowboys could be facing a familiar face in the NFL playoffs as former kicker Brett Maher signed with the Los Angeles Rams. The move comes a little more than a week before the Rams could face the Cowboys in the wild card round. Maher's tenure in Dallas ended on a down note after the veteran started the 2022 season as a dependable kicker. The Cowboys wisely opted to move in a different direction this offseason. Maher missed at least 1 extra point in his final 3 outings with the Cowboys, including 2 playoff matchups. The tension reached a breaking point against the Buccaneers when Maher missed 4 of 5 extra point attempts. All this has Cowboys fans thankful for new kicker Brandon Aubrey, who has not missed a field goal this season. Heading into Week 18, Aubrey is a perfect 35-for-35 on field goal attempts. Aubrey has missed 3 extra points, hitting 44 of 47 attempts this season. Maher's woes continued in Los Angeles after signing with the team in August. The veteran missed 6 field goals in his first 8 games with the Rams and was released on October 24. To Maher's credit, 4 of these missed attempts came from beyond 50 yards, not exactly chip shots. Los Angeles rehired Maher on January 1 with the expectation that the former Cowboy would be the team's kicker if the Rams reached the postseason. Given Maher's previous difficulties in Dallas, some Cowboys fans may be hoping to see the Rams in the playoffs. Heading into Week 18, the Cowboys are in second place and would host the 7th-seeded Packers in the wild card round. A Rams loss combined with a Packers win would make Los Angeles 7th. Dallas can secure second place with a win over the Commanders. If all this happens as described above, the Cowboys would face the Rams in the opening round. The Packers and Seahawks are also possible opponents if Dallas wins the NFC East and secures second place. Aubrey took an unlikely path to join Dallas, but the Cowboys were lucky that the team found the specialist. The player Dak Prescott, nicknamed Butter for his smoothness, has emerged as one of the best kickers in the league. From the MLS to the USFL, Aubrey finally fell under the Cowboys' radar. Dallas' decision to dispense with more talented veterans this offseason in favor of an unproven Aubrey turned out to be a prudent one. The Cowboys were interested in a couple of kickers in this year's draft, but both were selected before Dallas was willing to use one of its picks, wrote The Athletic's John Machota in a December 13 article titled "How Butter Brandon Aubrey Continues to Impress the Cowboys." There's so much there. So, special teams coordinator John Fassel worked on selecting about 100 players, mostly from the XFL and USFL. Tristan Vizcaino was in the lineup, but it seemed unlikely that they would go into camp with only him in the position. On the outside, many speculated about veteran free agents like Robbie Gould, Mason Crosby, and Ryan Succop. Fassel was determined to find a younger option. Have your say on the news? And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Dallas Cowboys news.